Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Europa Universalis 5 here with the great Duchy of Lithuania as we are fighting the Bohemians and their allies against Hungary. And Hungary did unfortunately take a pretty significant defeat down in Hungary, but we were called into the war after allying Hungary again. And initially, we were not going to raise our entire army, but we have now raised our entire army. And a lot of it is starving, unfortunately. Where is this army going? Get over here. Sorry, we're marching through Poland. I just wanted to make sure our two armies weren't too divided, right? So with all of our army raised, we are down to 700. 700. That'd be nice. 715 in terms of ducats a month. Again, several armies are starving, but we are here in Bohemia and Warsaw. And we did look up, so it is the Karaliskas Karomeni, which is the royal army of Lithuania. We have the second army. And all of these people right here in Gardinus, we are going to call, I mean, again, it's just a peasant army. It's Sarga, I think is how you pronounce it, but it's the reserve. K-Artist will come in and lead them. They will start moving. And the fourth army, we will lead for Stepan. And we'll just call that the fourth army. So two of them we came up with cultural names, one we did not. But we have taken Warsaw. And again, our whole goal here is to try to help Hungary. Now, the reason I did elect to raise up our entire army after initially thinking I wasn't going to is very, very simple as well. I thought initially, right, possible religious actions. I don't want to invite a foreign cleric. That is, we had the manpower advantage against Bohemia, right? That we would be able to not raise the entire army. But then I thought about it, I was like, well, they might be significantly ahead of me militarily wise in terms of technology and units. So therefore, it's not just going to be a question of manpower, right? So that is why I belatedly decided that I wanted to raise my entire army. I had originally planned to potentially call Hungary into the war against Kiev, but then once I decided, once Hungary actually decided that they were going to declare war here on Bohemia, I was just like, yeah, well, that's really not going to work. Thankfully, the Hungarians, it looks like, just defeated a smaller Bohemian army. Who is this? This is an army of Bihar. Okay, so that's I believe, a Hungarian army. The reserve army is struggling for food now. We do have about a little over 1 trade capacity left. I want to wait until we're done with the armory because I want to make sure that if we do need to get, guns in, which seems a little bit early for that, that we have the trade capacity to do that. Increase in the commons across our country and increase in the formation of the common share that between the Ballisticae has been noted. Of course, the Ballisticae complain that the commons are an outdated method, one that is productive than their conversion into enclosures. The Ballisticae vehemently oppose this idea, citing the age-old rights and the importance of the commons to their livelihood. The decision now falls upon the state. Should we uphold tradition and allow the commons to flourish, or do we seek a path forward into the modernization of our agricultural framework? If we uphold the commons, we gain some stability, and we continue to move towards traditional economy, or if we can favor enclosures, we lose 7. Yeah, we're going to take the stability, because you never know when you might lose that. We have taken Gora now. Odo. Right. We are going to run away. Well, actually, we're not. We're not running away. Run this way. Yep. That's what I was afraid of. The second army is about ready to get massacred. In the Battle of Krasno or Odransky. They came up with about 9,000 men. Damn, we lost everybody. Nicholas Radizil has lost everything army movement speed plus 10% though. Or we lost 2,200 men. That is not good. That is obviously not good. I did not notice them kind of coming up through here. The Bohemian vassal states. So I guess credit to Bohemia, right? They kind of got one over on me there. We now have consolidated our army into one force. Or what remains of it, I should say. Rise of the Gastudai. Within the ranks of a majority, the Gastudai family have always held a contested influence, currently led by Jonas Gastudai. They control many regions within the Grand Duchy. Well, this poses a problem for the crown. Perhaps we could ally with them as aligning our interests may lead to greater internal stability. The Gastudai were primary rivals of the Radzivili family throughout the 15th and 16th centuries, serving both Vitus the Great and Casimir. Is that the fourth? Aegalion, they had vast lands and were considered among the wealthiest nobles in Europe. Unfortunately, the family line ended in 1542, and their estates passed to the Grand Duke of Lithuania. Why? No, I'm not going to lose 100 ducats. No. I mean, now my nobility is unhappy with me when I get that, but I'm not losing 100 ducats and giving them the money. The Bajori already have 603 ducats. They already make way more money than I do a month. I'm not giving them that much money. That is ridiculous. There is a small Bohemian force here in Gora that I think we should be able to take out. About 300 men. We have almost 12,000, so. And indeed we do. Who is this? This is the Nimolden. Oh, they do have a cannon. That's kind of what I was worried about, right? Was that they would be way ahead of me technology-wise, and it looks like they are. Oh boy. Yeah, I don't know if this was the right idea. Who is this? Is that Moldavia? So their entire army is shadowing me. Guild before the country. When aristocrat... fine, yes. Magnus dies. He'll go into the cabinet. So we ended up losing 32 ducats. Anyways, like they were trying to get me to lose almost 100. Just out of curiosity. Well, we'd be expected to win. Why would we be expected to win? The terrain is to their benefit. We have 24 infantry, 10 cavalry. They have 17 infantry, 1 cav, and 1 cannon. We have 100 commander points. Well, they have 76. We have a stronger army, and we have better quality. We'll have the battle. Obviously, if we lose, that would be devastating. But if we win, then I think the war with Bohemia is going to go very, very well. It's just a gigantic if. But I do find it interesting that the entirety of the Bohemian army was just kind of like hanging out around where I was. Early on, it looks good. We're holding on the flanks and in the reserves. Okay, they're down to a little under 7,000 men. We're at 9,400, right? I think. Levies lost to attrition. I mean, yeah, okay, now they're really going down. Well, okay, they came back. But I do think we're going to win. Oh, god dang it! You stop that random making the green line go up. I hate that. I understand that maybe if their weaker units get killed, their morale increases. But that is ridiculous. Alright, so we do win. Bohemia lost 4,600 men. We lost 4,000. They lost all of their cannon and all of their cavalry, though. And we are going to chase them because we want to stack wipe this army. No, idiot. Damn. Apparently we can't advance. Who is this? The Winkler and Free Company. So Moravia has a few troops coming the byway, apparently. So we're going to fight them. Maybe. Well, I guess they were able to pivot and not fight us. Interesting. Wait, so now they are going to fight us again. I am so confused. Wait. Okay, here come the remainder of the Bohemians. All right, well, we wiped out the rest of the Bohemians, 2,700 lost infantry, and we captured 296. We lost. Oh, I guess we gained 296 because we captured. We have taken Gorlitz. And then we wiped out what Moravia had left, and we also took out what Rokwa had left. And Franconia Dwara. And Nysa. And Opava. So I think we've destroyed... Okay, they have 434 men left. We've lost 17,000, they've lost 14,000. Our defeated army here, the second army, is retreated all the way back. To what, Venta, and now is going to come down, and they're going to try to link up with a very tiny 500 men. Basically the guys we captured, as you can kind of see by their outfits. I'm a little surprised the game is still telling me that it's a negative war score because, okay, yes, Hungary did not get up to a great start. However, we have essentially now wiped out the Bohemian army. And there's really nothing left for them to do. So northern Bohemia is basically being occupied by us. I do think Hungary is going to get their independence now. Okay, so we have built the armory. Yeah, and we do need firearms. So, is that cannons? Do we have anybody? All right, we would need head and cannoners. Maybe when we get hand cannons, right? Not expected to make much money, but we can get some firearms from Pest. Which makes sense, right? Because, I mean, we're fighting on behalf of Hungary, so they'd probably be like, hey, man, you need some guns? Here's some guns. I don't hate Bohemia, right? So it's not like they're at about 71% of the banking. This isn't really an act of like, hey, man, we needed to conquer Bohemia. right? We don't like you. Like, I'm not a big fan of the Teutonic Order. I also don't really hate the Livonians. You know, they were kind of vassals and subjects in a lot of ways of the Teutonic Order, so don't really hate them either. Uh-oh. I think that's essentially the rest of the Bohemian army. Not quite. It's 550, but... we will let our superb general go in and just wipe them out. There we go. The second army we will let just kind of hang out, start to replenish itself a little bit. Daria Jedemitis has died at the age of 54. She was our third cousin. Sad indeed. Oh. There's a little Bohemian dude, 100 guys. Is he going to wipe out the men we captured? Yep. So you get 755 men in that army. We're up to 835.53 ducats now. We can stop improving our opinion of Turov at the moment. Naramantis Gediminitis was 52. He was a courtier of the Great Duchy of Lithuania. He had heart failure. Not great. We have retaken Gorlitz. Our small second army has started to have a little bit of success. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get there in time to help out the Hungarians, although initially they're doing okay here at the Battle of Upawa. But the superior numbers of the Bohemians may end up carrying the day. And it looks like it's going to. What's interesting about that is the battle's not even over. We just gained -3 war score. Which I don't really understand why. I mean, because, okay, we lost the battle, that's fair. But we also wiped out the majority of the Bohemian army. Didn't get a lot back. And Bohemia is being occupied, whereas I don't think Hungary really is just yet. So we did split the army into half. Stepan will have command of what we're going to just let be known as the 6th Army. Because they only have currently 300 men available to them, so it just doesn't make sense. Oh, that's our vassal army. They're just hanging out. In terms of domestically, we're up to 19.82% conversion of Slonim. Burghers are building a jeweler's guild at Polotsk. Oh my God. Take out the little freaking Bohemian army, please. Which we have done. Stepan Kulaski has now got the trade army tradition for battles, 50% prestige for land battles. He is the glory seeker. Bohemia is now down to, well, they're up actually to 764 men. Turov is starving, which is unfortunate as we enter 1417, but there's not a lot we can really do about that right now. We have reoccupied most of northern Bohemia. We are trying to take the town of Bytom. We are down to 5.6 ducats basically a month right now, so in terms of the military expenses and the impact on the economy, I don't know if I would say this has been a great idea, but it is going to help us curry a lot of favor with the Hungarians. We have advanced banking research, bank interest, they give 2% total loan capacity plus 50%. Money lending is as old as time, but is not without risk. We can minimize said dangers if we institutionalize these practices and see that money is loaned under controlled and fair stipulations. That means we are now on merchants and trade. Then we have foreign envoys, which will help our diplomatic range. Two realms will help our culture capacity, clergy to state satisfaction, then military tactics. Then we get to minting. Then dissident markets for trade rage, pop promotion, bark. We have taken Wallow. They're up to 1,000 men now. We also have a plague, influenza breaking out in Lithuania. We have 23,000 men remaining. So, I mean, we still have a number of 23,000 to 1,000. A lot of that is us. Although not quite as much as it used to be. But still, decent amount. We have taken Newmark. Well, now we're going to try to take Breslau. I know we have influenza. Thank you. Like I said, we're probably not going to be using our Casus Belli anytime soon. You know, if we take the fort at Rothenburg, if we're able to take Breslau, if we're able to take Batum. Uh-oh. I think the second army is going to get defeated again. What? Yeah, we have lost Batum. We lost all of our men again. They lost 222. So I guess... can we disband you? Here at Prudnik, generous merchant family, one of the greatest and richest merchant families of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, have decided to reward us for a just rule with a sizable donation. As a well-respected traders who built their fortune from commerce, the family has developed a reputation as generous patrons of religion and the arts. Now, so with this newfound wealth, we can strengthen our coffers or give patronage to new talents. One artist, Alphonsus has begun to achieve some renown in local circles, and claiming his service could be quite the mood for our court. We're just going to take the money, to be honest. So this is the Battle of Prudnik. As we have tried to ambush what's the main force that remains of Bohemia. And we do win, although we get very little from the war score, which I don't entirely understand, but it is what it is, I suppose. Still have not taken Marnstern there. And they're trying to siege down Moravia, Well, this Hungarian army is just standing there. I don't know what they're doing. And our vassals here are just hanging out. So we are up to 9 ducats a month again financially, but that's largely because our second army got obliterated. Alexander Ruzetsky has reached the age of 16. Let's go over here to Vilnius. All right, so we do have enough men. Good Lord, another freaking... I'm tired of them just showing up with manpower. They keep trying to retake Gorlitz and refusing to accept the fact that their army is defeated. I appreciate their vigor, I appreciate their bravery, I appreciate their tenacity, but that was annoying. They now have 0 men. So despite having literally 0 manpower, we still have a negative 24% war score. The cannons look cool. We're not going to have any of those for a while, but they do look cool. In Turkey, we will build another scriptorium. Christina Gedimidas has reached the age of 16. She's a ruler's daughter. Okay. County of the Black Forest? Okay. Interesting. Wardslaw Grift is the most, and Wolgas are the most powerful, so we will try to get another royal marriage there. We will gain 5 prestige, they will gain 6.15. Not sure where that Hungarian unit's going, but okay, they're going to help us at Opal. Nice. Like, you could besiege your own places, my friends, and then, you know. Paper. Okay, we have enough paper. I don't think we did anything to get a new building yet. No, we did not. Okay. So if we built that town in Palanga, take 310.27 ducats, 365 days, 1 glass, 1 masonry, 1 lumber. Well, we are doing that. The siege of Rothenburg. Is a level 2. How long has it been going on? 211 days. The siege of Opol, 20,000 people. Oh, wait. Opol's not actually at war with us, so that's why that's not changing. Okay. I was confused for a second. I was like, why is it not changing? But that's why it's not changing. They're not at war. My dumb self. I think there's some kind of a supply shortage. We are in Nemolden. And I mean, one of the other things is, of course, we should be able to gain money potentially from the Lithuanians, right? I mean, not the Lithuanians, the Bohemians, for the peace treaty. You can see we are getting 12 manpower a month, so. %73%. Well, the Orthodox Zealots are back. 73%, unfortunately, for the Baltic German Patriots, so that's going to be a problem eventually. The Princedom of Brzeg. Again, I do apologize for any all mispronunciations. But if we can knock out, I guess, their vassalage support, right? I mean, that's not nothing. Defenders have deserted in Rothenburg. We have successfully occupied Nicaea. And we're about to, okay, we just kind of by default took a Wawa. I've had fun in this episode, though. I know we lost a lot of men, which, you know, not great. But I still have had fun in the sense that the war wasn't one-sided, right? Like, in some updates to the game early on, like, you could, if you had a couple of regiments and whatever, you could lose, like, 2 people and kill thousands. Same technologies, but you just had, like, one 500-man regiment. Oh, wait. Is this place not at war? Like, Nika? No, okay, I guess they're not. The Duchy of Wroclaw? No, okay. Holy crap. Where did they get the men? Where did they get the men? Where did Bohemia, did they buy them? I mean, they must have bought them, I guess, but... Where did they get that manpower from? We are going to go meet up at Poznan, and then we are going to say here at Vilnius. Okay, the militant faithful we can't afford. We are going to raise... Yeah, we are going to raise a unit of horsemen. Because the Bohemians just routed a little Hungarian army. And my vassals are just standing here. Freaking get involved. We will... Okay, the food access has been given to Lithuania. I don't know why they're just hanging out. I really don't know why they are just hanging out. I can't select them to make them move. Oh my goodness, where did they get the men? Maybe they changed the law. I don't know, but that just... Well, we do have a cavalry unit. It's just 200 men strong, but it does give us another professional army unit. Well, they split up. They didn't do anything, but they've split up. All right, so there's the Bohemian army. I'm trying to wait for this cavalry regiment before we engage them. And now they're back to... No, they're not. Okay, I really don't know what these people are doing. What the AI is trying to have them do. And why they're just hanging out inside of Lithuania. What the hell is going on? They are just multiplying like crazy. We're now, again, like... We're going to try to go fight... What's left of the Bohemian... Well, no, we'll take these guys out first. Okay, thankfully peace. The Prince of Mozambique has accepted peace for the former enemies, the Kingdom of Hungary. Oh my goodness. This is insane. Like, this is legitimately a lot longer of a war than I thought it would be. we've lost 25,000 men now. They've lost 19,000, so we've actually lost more than they have. It is clear to us that Afansi Brzezinski has proven to be an excellent appointment in our cabinet. Doing valuable work for Grand Duchy, we are lucky to have such a fine minister to employ. If we reap the benefits, we can gain 10 prestige, or you'll gain excellent minister. We'll just do that. Yeah, we're going to see if we can maybe beat them one last time here. And then, well, wait. Okay, we're expected to lose now. Oh my goodness. I think I'm going to try to get out of the war. Like, I honestly think I'm going to try to get out of this war. Okay, well, never mind. We win. We lost 1,100 men. They lost 930. I want to chase this army down. Like, wherever they are going, I want to try to get them before they can reform. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but how did they get by me? They had to have gotten to the north. It sure looked like they were going south, but they had to have gone to the north. I mean, that's the only answer. I understand that, but I am just... I'm at a loss at this point. And not only did they get by me, but they reformed incredibly fast. The Cardinals of the Curia have come to the conclusion now enacted alias que se pro divida. Yeah, I think they're hunting me now. Can I just get out of this war? No? Okay. Like, I'm sorry, Hungary, but... we have tried to help you, And we have helped you, but Bohemia's massive reinforcements there just have kind of shattered our ability to fight. And also my willingness to fight, I would say. Kairotis Gediminas has died at 56. He was a courtier of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. Yeah, we're just actually, you know what? We're just gonna go home. Like, I feel terrible, but is Rokla at war now? Okay. Kingdom of Hungary has accepted a peace offer for the former enemies of Bohemia. They lost a lot of land. Hungary gives them 42 ducats. Hungary annuls all treaties with Lithuania. I mean, that's disappointing. That's definitely disappointing, but at the same time, we were about ready to just leave the war anyways. All right, so Palanga now is a town. I don't care. I know I have levies raised. Now, the main difference here, well, we don't have any burgers, but is we can start to build eventually a port, right? Well, and that also changes, you know, our opinion on, as there's now a large Bohemian revolt, on attacking Kiev because we were counting on Hungary to be able to help us, but now probably not going to. Well, especially since they did have to annul all treaties with us, right? So, I mean, they really can't, even if they wanted to. The armory costs 0.56 ducats a month. Tax efficiency is negative 8% now. We have merchants that trade advanced research. The patterns of trade have been seriously disrupted, possibly due to plagues and pandemics, though trade is slowly beginning to recover. Naval rage, colonial rage, and trade rage plus 250. Zenislava Gediminas has reached an age, right? She is also our daughter. She can marry Prince Władysław Pass, Kingdom of PS. I should say Kingdom of Poland will gain 6.41 prestige. They'll gain 5.12. What is left of our army is finally back. And this is where I do love the game. And, you know, games where there's a population mechanic, because, like, those people died, right? They should have just, like, reappear. Quietly as, you know, quickly as sometimes, like, development allowed it to. So, thankfully, the war has ended in time, hopefully, to rebuild our army for the upcoming Baltic German Patriots Revolution. I don't know if it will be in time 100%, but hopefully it is. They are burgers are expanding to Die Maker and Pinsk. So we did disband the remainder of our levies there in October 14, 18. Following a disastrous war with Hungary, on behalf of Hungary against Bohemia. Well, now we need to try to fight a new ally. So we're going to see if we can maybe convince Wallachia to be a new ally since Hungary fell. Well, Hungary did fall, but they got defeated and they had to give up all alliances with us. So in Palanga, we still have no freaking proximity apparently, but control is getting better. We can build ships, harbor capacity, trade capacity, monthly sailors, +1 navy, repair speed +1%. We would need naval supplies, tar, tools, and wood. So clearly we are behind in terms of the military technologies that have been researched that would allow things like crossbowman, maybe, men at arms, gunsmith, building, cannon maker, handgunners. The Baltic Germans are at 80%. Orthodox Zealots, there's 105 of them. They're at 9.99%. The Baltic Germans are at 21,719. We are currently at 29.18% in Sloden in terms of converting people, and we are at 34.72% in core land in terms of integrating it. That should be done in 1501. The annexation of a text should be done in 1528. And once we get into 1419, I will go ahead and let the episode end. It's interesting to me that Hungary was unable to replenish their med power the way Bohemia was, but I don't know. Maybe the Ottoman. I don't know if I think the Ottomans did kind of consolidate some of Anatolia. Don't think a lot else has happened. We are now spending 3.29 on the army. That is a lot. That is a lot to be spending. The Gracia Rex is about ready to be done. Or done being debated. Apparently not, whereas we're the negative days. Yeah, I really am not sure why Palanga continues to have negative 3% proximity, because we've got roads most of these places surrounding it. The Gracia Rex, 10 years estate satisfaction equilibrium plus 5%. So like, yeah, only two places at borders, Grobin and Skagotis, are not connected to the road system. So I don't totally understand that score there, but it's all right. Like I said, thank you everybody for watching. We did get... we got defeated a few times by the Bohemians, but we also won our share of battles. And I don't think it was really ourselves that lost the war so much as the fact that Hungary kept throwing tiny armies piecemeal at them and the Bohemians kept wiping them out. But regardless of who was at blame for the loss there, we did lose the war. Urkisi is now 37. Her eldest son, when is his birthday? In January, okay, so almost a year away. And then her younger son, Luabartis, is 10. So all four of her children should be coming of age, have either come of age or will be coming of age shortly. Thank you, everybody. I think in the next episode, we will have our first rebellion. So some things are starting to pop a little bit, right? Lost a war. We're not going to fight another war. Nobles are building again. Built the town. Did build our first armory. And now the army is quite expensive. But till next time, everybody, take care, stay safe, and I will let the game run here for a couple more days until we get into April. And then I will end the episode. I will say I am addicted to EU5 right now. I guess they always have been to a degree, but even especially now with Lithuania, because we've survived almost 100 years, we've expanded, we're doing reasonably well, I feel like, and we now have advanced the technology tree. Although it is stunning, right, to find out again that we are so far behind militarily in terms of like units. But Mazur needs a masonry employees for the masonry. Okay. Till next time, everybody. Take care, and I will talk to y'all later.